Here we have a demonstration of Microsoft Purview working alongside Microsoft Fabric and CluedIn. We have a use case where we're clearly going to show that we have data sitting in our lake. In this case, it's one lake within Microsoft Fabric. How Microsoft Purview can scan those individual assets for data quality, and then show that the same data going through the CluedIn platform will yield higher data quality in the end. In this case, we're going to be working with the business domain of customers, scattered across 3 different tables with different schemas, different structures, and data quality issues in it. We're going to use the CluedIn platform to not only consolidate and fix the data quality issues, but then send the data out to Microsoft Purview to run its proactive data quality scanning again. So let's walk through the scenario here. Where we're going to start is Microsoft Fabric. In here, we have a lakehouse. This lakehouse contains a folder that contains 3 different individual lists of customers scattered across 3 different systems. As we open these files, this is using a modern file format in the form of Parquet. We can see, for example, we have the top 25 companies from revenue in the world. And take a look at the column names here, customer, homepage, revenue. But I also want you to pay attention to the fact that some of the formatting of this is not great. And also we've clearly got missing values across the file as well. As we dive into the second file, we can see it's got semantically similar column names, but it's also got its own holes in it. So for example, if I take a look at Shell, you can clearly see it's missing a URL here. If I go back to the first file, you can see in this particular file it's got that filled in, but State Grid is missing in this particular file. As we dive into the last file, we can also see that it's got the same companies, but with different data quality issues, and once again, different column names. Our problem is that this data is scattered. It is heterogeneous in nature, not easy to string together and consolidate, and essentially you can imagine we need to fix our data quality issues, but also consolidate this into one single list of customers, in this case 25, across these 3 different files, and solve the challenges of the semantic differences, but the fact that hopefully we can bring these 3 files together and they each can fill in the gaps that exist between the individual files. For this, we're using Microsoft Purview to actively scan our lake to find these assets and to form a kind of metadata repository over it. So if we head over to our data map, in our data sources, we've scanned our Fabric instance here. You can see it's bringing up quite a lot of assets, which means if I head to my unified catalog and head to our data assets, without any real surprise, if I search for customers 1, this is going to find our lakehouse table here. We can click on this, we can see the schema, and we can clearly see here is our lakehouse customers 1 with columns like customers, homepage, revenue, USD, and you can clearly see we've got those same columns here as well, actively scanned in Microsoft Purview. To be able to make this data visible and discoverable to the business, we've created a data product. In this case, it's called Customer 360. And as you can see, we've formed a good description and set of use cases, and then we've attached our 3 individual Delta tables, including our customers 1, 2, and 3. Now, the data quality issues exist in each of these. You can probably imagine once we start to bring the data together, the data quality issues may even get more. To help with this, under Health Management, we have our data quality scoring in Microsoft Purview. This allows us to select our data product. In this case, we're going to open Customer 360, and you can clearly see that each of these individual Delta tables has received a data quality score of 84. Not bad, but also not great. We obviously want to get this to 100%. To help with this, if we head back to our data product, we've tagged this data product as a master data and reference data type. Down the bottom, we've also tagged this particular data product with a term that CluedIn is listening to. In this case, it's called Tim Demo. Let's head over to CluedIn and let's refresh our page. Let's head to our settings for Microsoft Purview. And you can see down the bottom, we've turned on this feature to sync different data products. In this case, sync the data products that have been tagged with Tim Demo. This is everything CluedIn knows and needs to know to be able to automatically sync the metadata and also the data as well. So with this in mind, if we head over to our data sources, let's head to our folders. And here you can see there is a folder with the same name of our data product containing the 3 different Delta tables that we've had scanned in Microsoft Purview. So let's just double check this. We've got customers 1, customers 2, and customers 3. We've got customers 1, 2, and 3. Let's open one of these assets and you can actually see that the data originating from our Microsoft Fabric instance is completely available for me to here to view and also to be able to map into the CluedIn system. There are many videos online that show you how to map data in CluedIn, so I will spare you that. But if we head, for example, to one of these mappings, you can see that we've mapped this into the concept of a customer. Using CluedIn's mapping and matching engine, if we now head to our search and filter by our customers, you can see instead of having 25 customers from each file, we have 25 golden records that have been stitched together from across the 3 different files. One of the things you'll notice here is there's absolutely no holes in the data anymore. So for example, if we search for something like Shell, it seems to be on the 2nd page, we can see that it's quite happily found the website here, where visibly we very much saw that some of the files didn't have that. Using CluedIn's matching, we're able to stitch that together and flatten the data so every single hole was actually filled in. If we head over to our export targets, you can see we've set up an export target to the CluedIn Lakehouse. This is to share back to the OneLake our beautiful, clean data. We've set up a stream of data. In this case, we've called it Golden Customers. And we have a simple filter that says where the business domain equals customer, i.e. the data that's been consolidated from across those 3 different sources. I would like to send that data to our Lakehouse in a folder called Golden Customers. If we head to our data tab, you can actually see the 25 golden records that have been composed from across the 3 different sources in one single place right here. As we head back to Microsoft Purview and head to our data products, you can see that I've composed a new data product here called Customer 360 Gold. This is an indication that this is what I'm wanting to actually share with the business. You can get a little bit of a preview over here to see that actually the data is at a healthy 100% of data quality. And as we open this particular asset, you can see that there's 2 things that have been primarily solved. One is that we don't have 3 delta tables anymore. We have one golden lakehouse that has all of our customer data in it. And if we look at our data quality scores, you can see that all of the incomplete data has been filled in. All of the non-standardized data, like the URLs that we saw before, has also been fixed and resolved, resulting in a data product I think most people would be absolutely proud to serve up to the business. So that is a short introduction and demonstration of how you can combine Microsoft Fabric, Microsoft Purview, and CluedIn. CluedIn's job is to make data ready for insight, and this is a clear indication of how taking data in a lower quality format, and as we spit it out the other end, you can see very clearly it's in a much higher quality format. Thanks for watching.